Hello, Team Wonder Bar. Sorry I'm a second minute late. All of a sudden I looked up, I was listening to something amazing and I want to share it with you, but I have to figure out how to get it on I have to put it on my phone first so I can put it in the group. I'll wait for some people to hop on. I might actually pop this up just a smidge. There, that's a little bit better. I have not started packing yet. I have a couple things to do, but I have my list written, so I'm all good to go. I don't know who's going to be hopping on today because I know quite a few of the people that normally hop on here are already in Aussie. Hey, Jonathan Harrell, who just got back from Austin, Texas. I'm going to keep tonight kind of loose because we've had information overload and we're going to have more information coming this week. So please watch my transition video. Type in transition in the search bar and the team page and watch that. I'm going to tell you to watch it if you ask me questions that I answered in it. I do these trainings so that you can be self-sufficient and self-motivated and go find it and listen to it. But what I wanted to talk about today, because I wanted to kind of keep it light, and I wanted to also answer questions. So if anybody's going through their month this month, if you're new and this is your first transition, if you are confused about anything I posted, please let me know if you have some questions. I will take this as a question and answer while I tell a story. Okay. So, I've been asking a couple people lately what level incentive they want to earn. If you haven't had a chance yet to go look at the incentive tab in Workstation, please do so, because this is something every single person can earn. And honestly, everybody should earn level 1. Honestly. Level 1, you don't even have to build a team. They made it really simple for you this year, or this incentive. You just have to go out and share the product. That's it. And if you haven't looked at it, the first, you get 12,000 points and you get into SFR 2020 for free. Now, usually this is, what was it this year? $350, $400 maybe, something like that. So you'd just be needing your accommodation and so, oh my God, weird emails coming through. But I think a lot of people think, oh no, I only do Scentsy a little bit, I can't earn that. Or they don't believe they can earn it, or maybe you're afraid of putting yourself out there and doing the work. So what I thought, to keep it light tonight, because like I said, you're going to be hearing, hey Joanne, you're going to be hearing, you've heard so much the past week, and there's more coming from our Scentsy family reunion this week. I really don't want to bombard you with a whole bunch of things, but I would like you to go to the incentive tab on your workstation and look through everything. And I want you to listen to your soul. I want you to, I feel like I'm going to get emotional, which is really weird. I want you to, I'm going to pause that actually. It's driving me a little weird. I want you to go and look at the incentive tab. I want you to go look at the news tab, and I want you to pay attention to what you're feeling. I believe in every single person on this team. until you make me go, nah, she's not going to do it. You have the power to do anything. And sometimes you think you aren't good enough, you're not worthy enough, you're afraid of success, you're afraid of failure, you're afraid of rejection, you're afraid of talking to people, you're afraid that, I actually had somebody say, I'm afraid I'm going to earn too much money and then I can't get my benefit. Well, isn't that the point? You want to get off your freaking benefit? Jesus Christ. Like, don't even get me started on that one. You're afraid you're going to earn too much money. What? Anyway, I have heard lots. And even the last couple of days, asking people who I believe in my gut, I'm like, what level do you want? I don't know. Yeah, you do. You do know. You just are a chicken and you don't want to say it out loud. You don't want to say it out loud because you're afraid if you say it and not do it, you're going to be whatever. I don't know. You're embarrassed to put it out there in case you don't do it, which means you already have doubt that you won't do it. But when you go and you look at the incentive tab and you look at where the trip is and you go, oh, that'd be so nice. You want it. You want it. Wouldn't it be great to take your husband or your best friend or your mom or somebody in your life on a free, all expense paid cruise to Bermuda? Wouldn't it be nice? Can you imagine? Or do you just cut yourself down and just go, nah, it's too hard. No, I can't do it. No, I don't think I can. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. Oh, I don't feel like doing that much work. I get that there are some of you that this is, you put your order in every 4 months and that's your jam and that's cool. And I will continue to support that. And that's what you want. But I know there's a lot of people in here that are freaking lying to themselves that say, oh no, I don't want to do that. Oh no, I'm not interested in that. I know it. I know it in my soul. I can see it in people's eyes when I talk to them. I can see it when they join and they look at me and go, yeah, I'm not probably going to do too much. But then they see excitement and they see people wanting to buy things and they see little bits of success. They want it. They just don't believe in themselves. So what I need you to do is I need you to put on your big girl panties, big boy panties. If you don't wear any, put some on. And I want you to go to Workstation. I want you to go to the travel agent and get a book or go on the internet. And I want you to Google Bermuda, New York, Amsterdam, the cruise ship. I think it's Adventures of the Sea. I want you to look. I want you to pay attention to what you're feeling. Because if all you're doing is doubting yourself and talking smack to yourself and putting yourself down and not believing in yourself, you won't get it. You won't get anything in life if that's what you keep doing. And if you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've got. And most people come into this for a reason. Most people come into this to get something, to fill something, whether it's your addiction for Scentsy and you get your discount and all those kind of things, which, hey, when you collect so many orders, your host credit goes up. So you get your free and half by Scentsy. So you can actually support your habit without spending all your damn money, right? But what if you could just bust it down into little baby chunks monthly and then weekly and just do your thing? You don't have to tell me, but as your sponsor, or tell your sponsor, whoever your sponsor is, but I do want you to be truthful. I do. And if you say, look, I don't want it and I'm not willing to work for it, if those words come out of your mouth, cool. Cool. But I want you to say those words because it's hard to say those words. I don't want a free trip. I don't want to do the work. Because I know most of you would love it if somebody handed you and said, here's Here's a ticket. Everything's paid for. You'll get spending money. You'll get presents on your pillow. Here you go. Would there be people that turn that down? Yep. Don't get me started on those either. But a lot of people would take it. So I want you, it's been a crazy week and it's going to be a crazy another week, but I want you to listen. I want you to listen to what you want. I want you, there's something that I was at a business networking meeting one day for women, and it said, jealousy can be an amazing thing. And I was like, wait, what? And it was about how when you look at somebody and you feel a little jealous for their success, pay attention. It means you want that. It means you want that. So what are you going to do about it? Are you going to just sit and do the same crap that you've been doing for the last year? Or are you going to change something? Are you going to reach out to somebody and say, I am scared shitless, but I really want to do this. What do I need to do? Help me work this out. The other thing is, I always say shoot high. Aim for 3, but at least you'll hit 1 or 2. Aim for 1, and if you don't hit it, you haven't hit anything. Your business has probably grown a bit. And that's one of the other benefits of this, is that throughout this, your business grows. I think you've heard me say at least 300 times, I've never had to work for an incentive trip. Since the day I started, I've never had to work for an incentive trip because I just did the things. Orville. Orville broke it down for us. The 4 chords. Have sharing appointments. Have at least 500 PRV every month. Share the opportunity with 2 people every month, and take care of yourself. That's kind of it. That's this whole business. And I think people are so afraid and so wrapped up in what will people think that you forget about what you're actually offering people. If I could make everybody I know and love part of Scentsy, if I could make them, I would. Because there was this show, it was with Denzel Washington, where he had a magic power where he could touch people and know what they were feeling and see it. And I always thought, God, I wish I could do that to people. I wish I could touch people and go, just listen, and let them feel and see what's possible. Some people think you can't make real money in Scentsy. That's crap. You can. I'm proof of that. Some people think it's not consistent income. Again, it's crap. Some people think it's a pyramid scheme. It's not. They're illegal. Some people think, I have a degree. I would never down myself. I don't want people to think that I do Scentsy because I have a degree. Oh, get over yourself. Guess how many people have degrees and can't get a job with their degree? Or, hey, you didn't graduate from high school. You don't have a diploma. You can still do this business, and you can still be very, very successful at it. And I'm going to play this because I just listened to it, but I'll put it in the team page. I just have to load it. But I just listened to it, and let me see if I can. All right. Bear with me. Trying to use my TV remote. All right. This is Melissa Grotz. Oh, well, that didn't work, did it?
So one of the limits that I have experienced is the stigma that this type of business isn't real. I've had my Scentsy business, I've owned my Scentsy business for 11 years. And still to this day, my parents will ask me on occasion if I think Scentsy's run its course. Whatever that means. But it's if to say that what I do isn't serious enough, or it's not professional enough, or it's not worthy enough. I simultaneously have worked a job behind a desk as an office manager for 17 years with capped wages and maxed out growth potential. And that job let me go in February due to a merger. And not once did my parents in 17 years ask me if I thought that job had run its course. Nothing in life is certain or guaranteed, but we do have the ways and the opportunities ahead of us and in front of us to secure our paths. How many of you have made $1 with Scentsy? How many of you have made one friend with Scentsy? How many of you have overcome one limit with Scentsy? This business is very real, and it's more than just a business. Thanks.
There you go. That is the most amazing Melissa Gratz. She is pretty damn cool. All of her trainings are amazing, but I think I've probably showed some of you how she had her living room wall built. You should see her van, and it's completely wrapped in Scentsy stuff. But she had her wall built in her living room with holes and plugs so that she's got warmers in every single, I think she's got 12. No, it would be more than that. Maybe 12. 3 rows of 4, maybe. It's beautiful. Anyway, but Melissa Gratz. Yes, she does take you to church. Sarita, she's amazing. But it's true. It's true. It's funny how people have an idea of, or a preconceived idea of the Avon lady, the Tupperware lady, the Scentsy lady. And if you aren't secure in yourself, you will allow other people's opinions to direct your destiny. And that's not okay. That is not okay. Don't you want to be in charge of your life? Are you sick of holding back and being who you are because you are afraid of what other people think? Nothing's going to change unless you change you. So, if you have questions about transition, I'm going to just kind of tell you some stories because I know we have a lot of new people and you probably haven't heard a lot of things that I've talked about before. Some of you will have. But I wrote some things down. Tomorrow I leave on my 9th free Scentsy trip. I have been with Scentsy since March of 2015. My first trip I earned in my first 3 months in Scentsy. Again, when you are new, you earn things fast if you just do the stuff. So I basically, in the first 3 months, so that was March, April, May, I started as a brand new consultant, essential consultant, and I think I was a star within 3 months. I think so. So all those promotion points I got at the time, right? And it was for a cruise to Cozumel, Mexico. And I was so excited because my cousin lives in Mexico. And I went, oh my God, I can go see Nathan. I hadn't seen him since 2008 at my grandmother's funeral. So what a cool thing to go to Mexico. And I remember Earl kept saying, because I kept going, oh, I'm going to go to Mexico. I'm going to go to Mexico in January. I'm going to go to Mexico. I'm going to Mexico in January. And Earl would get really mad at me and say, stop telling people that you're lying. I said, I'm not lying. And he goes, you haven't earned it yet. Stop telling people that. Because he was a limited thinker and because he cared what people thought. And I said, that's not how goal setting works, honey. You tell people where you're going and you do it. And I did. And I remember him going, holy crap, you did it. And I said, I freaking told you I was going to do it. Don't you tell me I can't do something. Some people take the, you can't do that to heart. Oh, I don't. I'll be like, oh yeah, bring it. I'll show you. I'll show you how much I can't do it. I'm going to do it and not take you. Anyway, but that was a leadership cruise, so it was just for one. But I walked onto that ship as a director in January. I'd become a director in October. So I became a director in 7 months with Scentsy. And so I walked on my very first Scentsy leadership trip, my first trip ever with Scentsy, as a director. And that was amazing because I got to meet Jacqueline for the first time, and a bunch of Katie Farner, because I was fangirling over Katie Farner so bad, and I had presents for everybody that I loved. And basically YouTube taught me how to do this business. And so I fangirled hard over all those people that helped me with my business. Then a couple months later, after earning Cozumel, Mexico, I had earned a trip for 2, all expense paid, to Singapore. And I called a friend of mine in Australia and said, hey, how would you like to go to Singapore for free for a week? And she's like, okay. So I got to take a friend I hadn't seen in a little while. And we went to Singapore for a week. And it was my first full incentive trips, because that's the full one. It wasn't leadership. It was a full incentive trip. And it will forever remain in my heart of, wow, Scentsy really does treat you so, so well. And attention to detail, and making you feel special, and the presents on your pillow every night, and the treats that they have for you waiting in your room when you get there. And even leadership was the same kind of, they don't do the presents in your room all the time, but you get a packet when you get there, and you get little things here and there, you know. Leadership is more of a working thing, but you're playing and working. And then the big incentive trips, like the one coming up, that is just you vacationing. There's no work on those unless you want to. So Singapore for 2 that year. Then the following January, I had earned a leadership, all expense paid week in New York. When I was little, living in Chicago, when I was little, my grandfather always said, where do you want to live when you grow up? Where do you want to live when you grow up? And I said, New York. I want to live in a penthouse with 8 dogs. Wouldn't do that now. That's a lot of dogs. But that was always my dream. And my grandpa always said, because I was the firstborn American in my family, and he said, honey, before you go to New York and move there, I need you to go there and visit. It's dirty. And I said, okay. So when I got to New York, I remember going, I actually expected to feel way more like, basically like the air was sucked out of me, excited. And I just went, oh, it's like a bigger Chicago. And I remember being in the taxi going to the hotel and going, And I got to the hotel, and I ended up crawling into bed with a human I didn't know, because I got in really early, so someone let me crash in their room. There was a bunch of girls in that room, some other Scentsy directors. And it was 4 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning or something. So they let me in. I put my jammies on. I took my makeup off, and I slid into bed with Karma Woods. And she was asleep, and she woke up, and we said hi. I learned more on that trip. It is my most favorite trip. But at one point, one of my most watched live videos I did was at the Statue of Liberty. And if you go into my personal profile and you go into my videos, you can see me a hot freaking mess at the Statue of Liberty, bawling my eyes out because it hit. My dream. My family came through there when they moved to America from Germany. My mom came through there when they moved from Germany. My grandparents. I even found, I went into Ellis Island, into the immigration books, and I found my grandparents' friends that I grew up knowing, you know. And but seeing the Statue of Liberty to this day, it really makes me emotional. And And I stood in Times Square, and I am somebody that's very sensitive to light and sound. I get really bad headaches, and then my pain gets worse with my fibro and stuff when there's too much stimulation, like what happened this week. And I stood in Times Square, and it felt like the most peaceful place I'd ever been. And I went everywhere in New York alone. Nighttime, down dark alleys. I went up to some dodgy tattoo place to check them out to try to get a tattoo. I was just like, oh, well, give it a whirl. At least I'm dying here. And but I walked everywhere, and everybody was so nice, and everybody talked to me, and I got hit on, which was fun. And but I stood in Times Square, and I just went, this is weird. This is really weird. It was like being at the beach for me. It was so, it literally changed my life. And I said, this is where I belong. This is my mothership. This is where I need to go. And I set my goal. I'm moving to New York in 10 years or less. And I told Earl when I came home, babe, I'm moving to New York with or without you in 10 years. I don't know if you're coming, but this is what I figured out for finances, what I need. This is with your medication, because he was on dialysis, and I know how things cost in America. And I just said, if you want to come, you can come. I came here for you, but you can go there for me. And he has no desire to live in a big city. I said, we can live in Jersey if it makes you feel better. But it moved me. It moved me so much. That's been my goal ever since. Just get to this place and go there. Go there. And so now we're looking at 7 years or less, because that was 3 years ago. But I will never forget that trip, ever, because it completely changed the trajectory of my life. Absolutely, in 1 week. It changed everything. Then I had earned a trip for 2 to the Great Barrier Reef. And I didn't want to take anybody. I was selfish that trip, but I had been going through so much stuff with Earl, and him getting sicker and sicker, and I was just exhausted from doing everything. When you have somebody and you're slowly watching them die, and you have to do the cleaning, and you're trying to run this business, and reach your goals, you're just exhausted. And so I earned the trip for 2, but didn't take a guest. And so what that means is Scentsy gives you your room completely to yourself. Like you have a guest there, but you get the room to yourself. So when you earn for 1, you have to share your room with somebody else. So usually you buddy up with somebody else that you know that's going, or I always tell people, put a thing up on the notice boards that say, hey, I'm looking for somebody, like for me, no smoking, no drinking, no snoring. Those are my 3 big ones, really. And I've always found amazing roommates, always, if I've needed a roommate. Because I don't party and I don't drink, and I'm not that person. So I like it quiet and cold. And no smoke smellies, no thanks. So you always find somebody cool to room with, or they'll just put you with somebody, and then that works too. But I like to control things. So, and so I didn't, and I went to the Great Barrier Reef, and I had the entire room to myself, and it was amazing. There was one day that I read the Khloe Kardashian book, ordered room service, and completely stayed in my room the entire day and watched CSI, and just laid on the bed with because the doors, the windows opened up to like all these palm trees and the really beautiful scenery and stuff. And I just laid there all day, and then went out. And then I went down for dinner because we had a farewell dinner or whatever. But the day before I went snorkeling for the very first time in the Great Barrier Reef. That's a first snorkel. That's a pretty impressive first snorkel. It was the first time in my life I felt fear. Real paralyzing, holy crap, this is fear. Talking to somebody about a sample, not fear. This was fear. I've wanted to snorkel my whole life. I've wanted to go to the Great Barrier Reef. I wanted to see this stuff. I get in the water and I'm like, oh, there could be anything underneath me. And I don't know that. What the hell is down there? Jaws could come. The Meg. You know, that was before the Meg. But like, I am a control freak. And that was the most frightening thing I've ever done in my life. I'm like, oh my God. And in the process of standing there, I was laying, and I rented a camera for like $70 to take underwater photos. And just went, I don't want to move. This is frightening. And somebody came up to me and said, are you okay? And I said, no, I'm not okay. I said, I'm pissed off. I said, I am legit afraid out of my mind. I've never felt fear like this in my entire life, and I don't like it. And I don't want to feel this way. So I need to do this, but I don't even know where to begin. Just because I have flippers on and a sting suit doesn't mean I know what the hell I'm doing. And she's like, I'll help you. I said, really? And she goes, yeah. I said, okay. She goes, all right, we're going to go there. She did this. She goes, do you think you can go there? Okay, try doing this. Okay, try doing this. So she basically taught me how to get comfortable in the water and to get further and further and out to the reef off of the boat. And it was incredible. And I would say she was with me for a good hour or two. And we were out in the water and stuff. And then she goes, do you think you can go over there? Because that reef is higher and towards the top of the water. And I was like, can't do it. Nope, can't do it. So she went and took my camera and saw sharks. And I found Nemo. When I put my face in the water, the anemones was below me. And I was like, oh my God, it's Nemo. And he was there. So I was happy. And I was like, don't move. Hold on to the rope. Don't move. Because Nemo's right there. And she came back and the water was getting rougher. And I was like, can you pee in the water? Is that bad for I have to pee. I'm like, is that bad for the fish? I don't want to pee on the fish. So I held it. Didn't go because I was like, I can't. They're very pretty. She came back and I said, do you work for Quicksilver? Because that's the boat we were on, was a Quicksilver boat. And she goes, no, I'm a Scentsy consultant. And I went, what? And she goes, yeah. And I went, you just spent all this time with me. You don't even know me. Oh my God. Like, I thought it was a Quicksilver person, so they were helping me because that's their job. It wasn't. And thus, my angel Kate DHU from Australia, will forever be an important part of my life because she helped me. I don't know if I ever really want to go snorkeling again. I think if I do, it's without fins because I didn't like those. That was the part I didn't like. I didn't like my fins. I needed, or get the small ones or something. But like, that was a stranger, a Scentsy consultant that just went, I'll help you. But I thought she worked for Quicksilver until we got back to the boat. Again, wow. Amazing. Your food's included. You get spending money. While we were there, we got per diem. So they give you so much money per day for Australia this week, for the couple days that we're there. They gave me $444 a person for food and incidentals, more or less. So for me and Chloe, so I got $888 popped into my account. Because technically we are actually there from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is actually reunion days for us. And we leave on Sunday, but we get free breakfast with the hotel. That's part of it. They give us whatever airlines we want. So you tell them which flights you would like. You tell them window or aisle, and they'll try to get you on those. They really work with you, and you get the frequent flyer points on them, which is also really nice if you travel a lot to build those up. So that was the Great Barrier Reef. And after the trip, people said people were talking about me. And I just laughed because I just didn't care. They didn't know my story. They didn't understand how much I needed that time. But people talked about me and said I was weird because I didn't bring a guest. Oh no, I did exactly what I wanted to do because I earned that vacation and it was my vacation. So they don't get to tell me what to do. The next one was New Orleans. New Orleans was a leadership one. If you didn't go to New Orleans, you could also do something else. And you know what's really sad is I didn't go to New Orleans that year. I turned it down because of Earl's health. And I ended up getting a prize pack. Oh no, I think I got something else. Oh, I took SFR. I think SFR was free, if I remember correctly, for me instead. So, but to this day, it is a regret. I wish I would have went to New Orleans. Then the next trip was a Mediterranean cruise on the biggest cruise ship in the world for 2. We went to Spain, Italy, and France. And it was a whirlwind trip. It was an exhausting trip. It was so fast. If we did it again, we'd stay on the boat longer because holy crap. There's so much to see, so much to do. But I brought my cousin, who is like my best friend, who lives in Mexico, and he works really hard. And we had a great time just hanging out. Our favorite day was in La Spezia, Italy. And we just were like, let's just go hang out by the water. And we just sat and chilled in Italy, having some beverages. We tried some hemp cola or marijuana cola, and we tried funny things that we could find. But it was really nice to have that time with him. Again, my family, my grandma raised him and me basically. So yeah, another amazing week, and all expense paid, and amazing gifts every night that's my favorite part of Scentsy trips, is running back to our rooms to see what presents are on our pillows. I know. That's my love language. It's gifts. I love gifts. So the Mediterranean cruise for 2. Then in January of this past year, we actually had another incentive trip. That wasn't a leadership one. It was an incentive one. And that was to Cancun, Mexico. And I only earned for 1. It was the first time I earned for 1, but looking back, it was okay. It was okay. It was a lot going on with Earl. And I look back and go, I don't even know how I did what I did, but I did. And so I earned Mexico for 1 and roomed with my best friend, Christina Galvin. And it happened, Earl passed away the 22nd of December. His funeral was on the 4th of January, and I flew out on the 6th of January, I think. And I can tell you right now that the love and the support, it took us 4 hours to walk from one side of the lobby to the other side of the lobby, because everybody, and Christina just kept holding my bag and just kind of smiling, hi, because you had over 3,000 people there, Scentsy consultants and their partners and stuff, and everybody came to hug me and love me and give me gifts and take pictures with me, and all I wanted to do was keep my head down and hide, because I was sad, but normally people run and hug me and it's like, ah! And this time it was like, Patty. So when you've seen a couple hundred people go, Patty, it's really emotional. And did I ever think Scentsy was going to be this? No. I've been with direct sales since 1995. I have belonged to many companies, and I have never never felt the love, the honesty, the support, the acceptance. Nobody's tried to change me. I love you too, Miss Lucy. There isn't any company like it that I've been part of, and I've been part of a lot, and from America and here. And I've always tried to find my thing. And once I earned Mexico, Earl looked at me and said, I think you found your thing. So, and he knew I wanted that. And it is, I remember after Earl died, the song by Marshmello, Happier, would come on everywhere. And I mean everywhere. It was like it was following me everywhere I went, gas station, restaurant, mall, store, wherever it was going. And there was one day that I won't forget while we were in Cancun, and it came on, the DJ fucking played it, and I just started crying. And Christina had known about the song because every time we went somewhere it came on, and I just went, and she's like, oh my God. Because it was legit on all the time. And it was something that Earl always said to me the last probably year, 6 months to a year. He just kept going, if you need to leave, babe, if it's too hard, you can. And I said, no, I'm not doing that. And he goes, I just want you to be happy, and I feel like I'm slowly killing you. And I think he kind of was. And I said, yeah, but it's okay. I'll come back. I always come back. It's fine. And so that song is everything he ever said to me the last 6 months. It's all he ever said over and over and over and over and over again. And so I was sitting by the pool, just hanging out by the pool, and the song came on, and I just started crying by the pool, and everybody in the pool just yelled, we love you, Patty. And I'll never forget it. And that whole trip is kind of a blur a little bit, because I kind of just went with whatever. I was very zen-like. I wasn't my normal self. I went along. I was a follower for the first time in my life. And after that, I went from Cancun, because Scentsy pays for the flight there and the flight back. My cousin bought me a flight from Cancun to Pachuca, Mexico. And I flew to Pachuca and spent a week in Pachuca with my cousin again. And so I got to see where he lives and works, and see his life there, and hang out with him. And that's probably where I really started mourning the loss of Earl, because I was by myself. I had an apartment, and I just hung out and watched a lot of Netflix, because they have different stuff in different countries, obviously. And but again, Scentsy paid for it. So every time I've earned a trip, more or less, it has gotten me closer with my family. The first trip, the Cozumel Mexican cruise, my mom drove down from Wisconsin to Florida and met me in Florida, where our boat docked. And I spent a week with her in Florida, going to Disney World and hanging out with her. And it's actually that when we started really getting close, because we haven't been close most of my life. And when I went to New York for leadership the next January, I took a side trip home and let Scentsy pay for my trip from Chicago to New Zealand again. And I spent that whole week or two or whatever it was with my mom, again, living with her, which I thought I'd never do. If you watch this, I love you. She gets it. I've always told her what I thought of everything. And now, I could live with her. And we've grown closer. Now she's on my team, which is amazing. But I look at all of this, and it just kept bringing me closer and closer to my family. And then finally, I earned Queenstown for 2, but instead of taking Queenstown, because I don't really care, sorry. If it was to Hobbiton, I would have been all over that, but no, it was Queenstown. I decided to work to take. I had earned the trip already by the time I went to Mexico. So, but I said, oh my gosh, we can go to SFR on the Gold Coast and I can take Chloe, Earl's daughter. And she's never been to Aussie. And my customers really pulled it together. I am, for the last, since 2011 probably, every time Chloe came for school holidays, because she lives in the North Island, we spent more time in hospitals and hospices, or couldn't do things, or couldn't go places because Earl couldn't walk that far, or Earl didn't feel good, or we would just really sit around and watch TV and go to the movies because that's what Earl could do. And it was never fun. Never fun. And so this was the time where I was like, oh my God, I can treat Chloe because it's all expense paid once again. And hi, Tanya. And we can make happy memories finally. She's such a good girl, and she's 19, and so I'm really excited to share this with her. I'm hoping she joins after reunion. I'm hoping she joins Scentsy. She's amazing at sales. She's very prize driven, and she's great at speaking in front of people. I don't know where the hell she got that from, but holy crap, she's really good at it. And every time she comes to a Scentsy event, she wins everything. If everybody remembers World Tour up in Auckland, we just pushed her up to the stage to get there, and she got everything. Like, she legit would just need some testers, and she has everything. But I wanted to go kind of tell you my journey through trips, because some people just see things and think one thing, or think they can't, or think it's no big deal, or once you go on a Scentsy trip, you never want to miss a Scentsy trip. And I will tell you, it's not even the location anymore. It's the people. And if you allow yourself to engage and join other pages and friend the right people, like the positive people, and build these relationships, you will want to see them. You will want to see them. So this trip, obviously, if you're a director and above, you can go to Hawaii in January. This one you do have to pay for. But they're getting us a good rate on rooms and things like that. So we'll be sharing rooms. And we'll be saving for that now. But going to a cruise from New York to Bermuda, if it wasn't for that Mediterranean cruise, I don't think I would be able to go, hey, Rufo and Robbie, my New York now friends who I love so much, like Jonathan down here, I'm coming to stay, make room, because they live in New York. And I said, and I'm coming early because I want to celebrate my birthday there. And I want, Robbie goes on walks with his dog and tells me different neighborhoods, because he's helping me with my dream. He's helping me with my goal to get to New York. This is where this is an area that you could live. And I said, okay, what does this usually cost? And what does that cost? So I need to get these ideas, because if you don't have the nuggets of information, because I always tell people, what's your goal? Maybe you don't need the money. Maybe money's not a motivator for you. For me, it's charms and trophies and presents. That's my motivator, and cruises and recognition. I love recognition. But maybe it's not money. But what if you could take your kids to Walt Disney World and work your Scentsy business to pay for that? Or what if, I know a lady who works a full-time job but does Scentsy, and all her commissions from Scentsy go to her favorite charity, which is an animal charity of some sort. She never takes her commissions from Scentsy. She uses it for charity. What if you did that instead? If something's important to you, you will do what it takes to get there. If something isn't, then you either, it's not, or maybe you haven't gotten involved enough to see how it could change your life. And that's why attending things is so important. That's why SFR is important. That's why World Tour is important. That is why attending trainings when we have them is important. It's not just about the information. It's about getting involved and engaged. So, I do want you guys to get really honest about if you want a free trip. And don't lie to yourself and think, no, I don't want that, because you're too afraid to want it. I want you to feel it and identify it and be honest about it. And then, talk to, oh, Tanya, I have no doubts about you, girlfriend. I have. Jonathan, I'm kicking Lucy's ass, so I'd be happy because you're the second person that you want me to kick your ass to. So Lucy and Jonathan, consider your asses kicked. They asked me to be mean, which is really funny. People think I'm mean just because I'm like, but you said you wanted it. That's not mean. That's just telling you what you said. So in case you guys, I am all about tracking. Angela Russell has a Excel spreadsheet she can send you to track the trip to Bermuda. I like to color and cross off. So I have loaded this into our team page. So basically these are previous consultants. That's what P means, previous. If you know anybody that used to be in Scentsy and maybe isn't anymore, they can come back for free. And if they haven't activated before or they haven't certified before, you can still earn points, and they will too. So check out the FAQs in the incentive tab for all of it. I'm not going to go through all of it. And this is for new people. So these are new team members. And when they're active, certified, lead, and star, because if you look at how the points work, you will see that you get points for different things, and so do they. Consistency has gone up from 500 to 1,000. So 1,000 PRV, I worked it out, New Zealand dollars. 1,000 PRV a month is only 1,840 New Zealand dollars sold. We are coming into the busiest selling season of the year. It really shouldn't be that hard, right? But even level 1, the 12,000 points, you don't have to build a team. 12,000 points means you need 1,584 PRV a month for 6 months. Then you'll get a 2,500 point bonus, and that brings you to 12,000 points. So this is your points. That gives you for your registration for a Scentsy Family Reunion 2020. Then you have level 2, which is earn a trip for yourself, and then earn level 3, which is a trip for 2. So, and then after that, you could earn the top 150, which goes to the Netherlands. So, you also get paid at rank, which is not paid at title. It's whatever. This is lead and above. So you want to get to lead, in my opinion, as soon as you can. As soon as you can, because you'll get better points that way. You'll get more points. And then if you have any promotions, you get points for those. And that's why being new is a bit easier, because you can promote from essential to certified, certified to lead. You rack up the points, man. It's easier that way. This is the rundown of how you get the points. So this is on the incentive tab in your workstation. And then I also have a coloring in one. So color these all in, and you get your registration for SFR next year. Fill in this row of Bermuda shorts, and you've earned 1 free ticket, all expense paid. Cruise to Bermuda from New York, and they pay for your flights, obviously, to New York, so don't worry. And then you fill these Bermuda shorts in, and you got a ticket for 2, and then on the bottom it says keep going for top 150. So for those of you that didn't come last night, I kind of went through that last night. And again, Christina Stainbrook usually makes a really pretty one, but I haven't seen her yet. I know she's just getting back probably from SFR, and she's an introvert, so she's probably like hiding at the moment. But when she comes up for air, she will probably create something really pretty as well. But keep your goal in front of you. I always tell people, go to the travel agent and go get pictures. Go get booklets on cruises, Bermuda, New York, Netherlands if you want. And go get the pictures, put them, make a goal poster, tack them on the fridge, in the visor of your car, use your desktop on your computer or on your phone, excuse me, to put pictures to remind yourself what you're working for. You know, I have New York on my watch. I have New York on my phone. I have New York everywhere because everybody's sending me. That's one of the other things. They used to say, if people laugh at your goal, it's not big enough. Nobody's ever laughed at my goals because I don't think anybody doubts me. But I have more and more and more and more New York things in my house because people keep sending them to me. Because people know I want this. I want this bad. And I know I want New York to be my home. I want to die in New York. Hopefully not soon, but you know what I mean. So, I have all the trackers from every single incentive in this folder. And I have made trackers every single one. Honestly, since I started, they're all in here. And it's just, I like to color. I have to see it in front of me right away. When I look up, like I can look at this and go, okay, Carol, that's Carol. She's active, but she's not certified yet. So if I have a bunch of these and I go and I just look and go, oh, this person's not certified, that person's not certified, you can see at a glance. Where if I have to go check a spreadsheet, my brain just goes, no, it's ugly. I don't want to. I don't like ugly spreadsheets. Me and Excel don't get along at all. That's all Ange Russell, and she does a fantastic job at it. So, does anybody have any questions? Thank you for putting up with my emotional and my crying today, but after I've asked a couple people, I've just been really disheartened by the fact that so many people go, no, I haven't really looked at it. How can you not be excited about a free trip? Unless you doubt yourself. So I really wanted to touch on that. Love you too, lady. Does anybody have any questions? I have to go and color my hair. And take a shower and pack my bags. Gwen's coming to pick me up at 4 a.m. to take me to the airport. So, I will see some of you on the Gold Coast. Please know that there is great things available in this business. And I don't say that like, just selling what I'm drinking kind of thing. It's really there and for anybody. And Angela Russell has earned the Mediterranean cruise for one. Katrina earned it. She earned the cruise but had to pay for her flight, so that was a different level when we had it that time. I earned it for 2. So just do the right thing. Just share the stuff and share it consistently. Yeah. I know, Tanya. I know. There's 2 people that should have went, and you were one, and Sarita was the other, and I've just been picking on Sarita today too. So, 8 trips isn't bad. No, 9 trips. 9 trips in 4 years. Not bad, right? Plus, I went to California reunion last July. So we went to Anaheim. This time last year, we were in California at reunion, getting all their Mickey Mouse, and they bought us tickets into Disneyland. Like, it's incredible. This company is incredible. So, oh, that's right. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Have an amazing week. I will try to share as much as I possibly can this week. And stay tuned. But yeah, let us know which level you are working towards in the incentive in the comments below. Make it happen. You can do it. Yes, you can. Good night.